There's some bullets.
No, thank you. Right down my ears. No, I've got. Oh, I'll just use these. If you're being honest with yourself, you can say that sometimes you wonder why God has you in certain situations. You wonder why God has you on this repetitive job every day. Can God use me on this job? Can God use me in this relationship? Can God use me in this situation? Can God use me in this church? Can God use me with this sickness that I have? Can God use me with this burden that I have? Can God use me in this everyday repetitive cycle that I'm in? You would be lying if you've not been in that situation before. Let's step back to the time of David when he was still a shepherd. Could you imagine being on the side of a hill in Bethlehem after David's got his sheep calmed down for the evening, and David pulls out his slingshot just to get some practice shots in, just to tune in what he's good at. David was on his everyday job doing what God had given him to do, and you know David had thoughts of, man, is this really what my life is? Am I really going to be this shepherd boy on this hillside tending these sheep? But what David didn't know with this slingshot, can you hear him on the side of this hill just practicing? Can you hear him? Just wham, wham, one right after another. Knocking limbs down, hitting rocks, whatever it may be. What David didn't realize was God was preparing him for a future giant. You know, it's almost a month away from bow season, and we like to be tuned in. We like to shoot our bows to where we're accurate. So when the time comes, we're prepared. We like to know that when this giant walks out, or when this doe walks out, that we're ready. We're tuned in and ready to go. David being accurate with his slingshot was God preparing him. What David thought was just his everyday practice, God was preparing him to take out this future Philistine giant, win this war, and eventually become the king. God was preparing him. So when we get in these situations in life, these hardships, what we think is hardships, and we're wondering how God's going to use it, I always remember, you're in the situation, you're in the position that God has put you in for a reason. The Bible says, whatever your hands find to do it unto the Lord. Not for man, but for the Lord. Whatever job you're on, whatever relationship you're in, whatever situation you're encountering every day, if it seems repetitive, God is just preparing you for future giants. Remember that. Be in God's will. I always remember that God has a reason for it all.